Mayor Chang and council members, city manager. I'm going to talk a bit about the ballot measure and about the problems about how you're going to put the ballot question. And I'm going to start with back in December of 2014 when the general plan was approved, and this is what the community forum diagram LU1 showed at that time. And you'll notice that there's a legend here, and it says special areas, neighborhoods, and it lists the special areas. And you'll notice that there's along the side here, there's a series of different boxes for each of the special areas. So that was in 2014. In October of 2015, the council passed a resolution amending the general plan. And this changed a lot of what had been done in the December 2014. It basically pulled back on some of the things that were pretty unpopular with people, as I'm sure you're aware. It also changed some of the policies, and it changed, here's land use policy 33-2 says maximum heights and setback ratios are specified in the community form diagram, figure LU1. So that's, and here is what the revised LU1 that was adopted at that point showed. And I want to point out a couple of things about this that are different from what was adopted in December of 2014. First is under the legend, there's a list of the special areas. And at the bottom of that list, it says neighborhoods. And it has, each of these has a color, and the color for neighborhoods is white. In addition, there are these boxes along the side as before. There's another box. And that box says neighborhoods. And that in that box, it shows the maximum density and the maximum height for neighborhoods. So that was all done in October of 2015. Now I want to bring you to the initiative. And on page 5 of the Cupertino Citizens Sensible Growth Initiative, policy LU 3.0, new policy says, community form, the maximum heights and densities for the special areas shown in the community form diagram, figure LU1, shall not be exceeded. And that's what it says right there. And I want to point out, it says, doesn't say the maximum heights and densities for the communities, for the special areas in the general plan. It says the special areas shown in the community form diagram LU1. And if you go back to what does the LU1 diagram shows, it shows a listing of special areas which includes neighborhoods. And it shows policies on those special areas which includes maximum heights and densities for the neighborhoods. So when you have an initiative, the meaning of an initiative is based on the understanding of the people who vote on it, or in this case, the people who signed the initiative measure. And the question is, what was their understanding of what they were signing? Because that's what it means. The purpose of when you're interpreting an initiative, your purpose is to basically effectuate the intent of the voters. So the voters who signed this initiative, when they read LU Policy 3.0, if they wanted to know, well, what does that mean, they would look at the next page, and this was the next page. This was page 6, this is page 5. They would look at page 6, and there's the diagram. They would see a list of the special areas, including neighborhoods. They would look and see what are the maximum heights and densities, and they would see maximum heights and densities for the neighborhoods. So their understanding would be that the heights and densities for the special areas shown in the community's form diagram shall not be exceeded. They would understand that's what it meant. Then it says, outside of the special areas shown in figure LU1, building heights may not exceed 45 feet. So here you've got the neighborhoods on LU1. If they're in LU1, they don't fall in that area outside of special areas. Now, you've gotten several letters written mostly by developers' attorneys, and saying, oh, well, that can't be the case because what else could it be? Well, there are a couple of other things it could be. And let me show you the diagram showing the neighborhoods. And one of the things to see is that there are areas outside of the city's current boundaries, but nevertheless within its sphere of influence, which could eventually be annexed. They are not part of the special areas. They would be covered. There are also areas that are not included in neighborhoods, but are not included in the special areas. They're in neither. There's a little tiny patch right over there. It's in the city, but it's not in any of the neighborhoods, and it's not in the special areas. That's another place where the 45 feet would apply. So it's not like this would be nonsensical. It's basically saying that it's a narrow area where essentially no other thing defines what the maximum height should be. So this was saying for those areas where nothing else defines the maximum height's 45 feet.
Stuart, you have went over 20 seconds. Can you wrap it up in another 30 seconds?
Sure, I can do that. So let me just quickly summarize. Here we are. So the growth initiative took into account the City Council's October 2015 General Plan Amendment, which placed the neighborhoods on the community form diagram, LU1. And that's what the voters saw when they signed this initiative. They saw that. And accordingly, the maximum height and density for the neighborhood should remain as shown in LU1. And I would suggest that this is the revision you should make to the ballot question, is that shall it maintain existing maximum heights and densities in all special areas, including the neighborhoods? That accurately reflects what the initiative did. Thank you.
Thank you.